Hello and good morning, listeners. Welcome back to Almus Market Mornings, your daily dose of global financial updates. I'm your host, Swaraj Rajagopal, and we have got you covered on everything from currency shifts to pivotal central bank decisions and important speeches. Plus, you'll gain expert analysis on macroeconomic data that's shaping the market narrative right now. Join us for this episode and navigate the markets with confidence.
A lot of themes playing out in the financial markets. PCE on Friday coming in line with expectations, politics in Europe, weakness in Chinese yuan, and maybe a commodities play. And for India, the bond index inclusion inflows. Good morning, JK. What has caught your eye, and how do you see narratives play out this week?
Good morning, Swaraj. So, I think it's a lot of political events that are happening. Market still digesting the seismic changes that are happening, and the French election obviously was the biggest one because that changes a lot of things in Europe. We've probably going by the trends and also the polls. Expectation is that the right wing party will take a majority or will be close to a majority after the second round. And for the first time after a couple of decades, France will have a president from one party and prime minister from another party, and that will lead to a policy paralysis. So it's not a good place to be in for Eurozone because a lot of things will change, particularly on the debt side and also on the deficit side, and the stability of the euro will come probably in question at some point of time. Therefore, euro either remains in the range or it can break down a bit later. But for now, 1.06 will hold. Elections in US, though far away, again we had the presidential debate last Friday, and Trump came triumphant, and it's more because of the weakness on the Biden side. So actually now it looks like Democrats will be looking for an alternate candidate. So there's a lot of uncertainty, and what policies will come forth. If the Republicans come back, and particularly on the China side, this again is keeping the market on a very subdued note, awaiting to see what will happen, because Trump will also, on the one side there will be tariffs on China, on the other side there will be tax cuts. So whether fiscal will be again sacrificed, all these things. So there's a lot of things which are still not very clear. UK, of course, also goes into election on July 4th, but that is very settled as far as the outcome is concerned. Labour is going to come with a overwhelming majority, so that's at least some stability in UK. So of all the major countries, I think UK looks quite safe as far as the politics and the policy going forward is concerned. Japan, again, the policy in the policy makers are in a fix because there is no they are not very confident that they can rein in the dollar, because unless there is hope of rate cuts in the US economy or the Japanese economy showing strength. But again, I think there's a mixed data coming out of Japan. The first quarter GDP in Japan has been revised down, much lower. So it's very difficult for them to go into a policy tightening without affecting the nascent growth that they have seen. So yen will have its own path of further weakness, and China, of course, will follow the general trend of yuan. Although 7.30 has been resisting for the yuan as well. So currency markets are in a range, still trying to digest the various macro developments that are happening only mainly from the political side. In this context, the PCE number, which you referred to, coming quite as expected. did not throw much surprise to the market, and we did not see much of a movement in either the yields or in the dollar. As I said, euro only recovered due to some short covering, but it's not going to rally away until the 7th July election results are out. And this is a very busy week ahead for us. We have German and Eurozone inflation, FOMC minutes, lots of labor market indicators culminating with the non-farm payroll on Friday, and UK election, then the weekend French election. All these things will keep the markets, still on a sideline to get a directional move, but I doubt whether we'll get immediately a directional move. And the same holds for the rupee as well, because while we are having a spate of inflows, particularly with bond index, officially starting on 28th, that's Friday. Inflows are not going to come in hordes, and it's going to come trickle, as and when the investors find the yields attractive. Therefore, we don't expect a breakdown in the dollar rupee because of that. And RBI, in any case, have shown their presence on the lower level on Friday at 83.36 levels, and they should be continuing the same thing. And any global market challenges can again push it towards 83.55 and 83.60. So all in all, currency markets are going to be rangy, but a lot of developments which the long-term investors will digest, and then eventually you will get a direction. But I think that's going to take a long time.
Thank you, JK. And it definitely seems politics is in the limelight. French election, it changes major things in Europe. Going by polls, as you mentioned, it's headed for a policy paralysis, and that is going to impact how the euro performs. In the elections in US, first presidential debate, it seems to be Trump who is shining. But currency markets, as of now, continue to be ranged as markets try to assess the political scenarios. Yeah, even for rupee, a bout of inflows due to bond index inclusion on Friday, but it's mostly going to trickle as investors find yields attractive, and RBI has shown their intent at the lower levels to support the dollar. That's it from us today. Thank you so much for listening. Tune in tomorrow for the latest in the financial markets.